being able to get a lot of these guys back. Where this league go, you don't know who's going to really be in the locker room next year, but I think as this season went on, especially from our young guys that I'm quite sure they're going to be here, you saw a lot of growth at times, and so I think that's the only thing we could kind of focus on and build on. You know, you go back and watch the tape, like I do, I like to go back and watch all my plays and, just try to write down some notes of what I could have done better. I think that's where will be my message, and kind of talk to Sweat about doing them type of things and having someone to watch that tape with. I think that's the plus, and like I said, that chemistry that me and him built, especially on the defensive side up front, it's only going to get better. And being able with him coming to Dallas a little bit to train with me as well, and working together in the off season, that'll also increase that. So we had a lot of positive with so much negative, especially with the record we had. But this season didn't go the way we wanted to. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think we did have a lot of positive. And especially when you go in there and watch that tape with your group, you saw improvement each and every week. So I think when it comes down to being a leader, is getting your message across and understanding how guys take it. You got to know who to pull in and talk to, and I mean we all grown men, but we also know that we're such a young team. So I wouldn't say it's difficult at all because that's what I call a front runner. When things going good, it's easy to lead, but when things tough and you having all this adversity, that's really, I think that showed who you really are as a man and as a leader of a team that you take full accountability and responsibility for.
How much you hope what happened this season maybe motivates guys in January, February, March, all the way till you get back here again?
I would hope it motivate the hell out of people. Not even just us. Even Callie and them with his staff, and the message that he had for us even today. Like, all this, we don't want this feeling ever again. And our goal is to make sure we get in that playoff next year. And like I said, his message to us, this won't happen again. And I think that even build that confidence and motivate guys that, go work your tail off and get ready to not be in that position again. I think we know what type of team, especially during camp, that, certain stuff that we saw in camp, and we just have to translate that to the season. And like I said, we worked our tail off from OTAs all the way up to the season. And like I said, things just didn't go the way it should have and the way we wanted it. But I know I trust this coaching staff and I trust this organization to put us back where we need to be. So.
What's the foundation of that trust, Jeff, that things are going in the right direction?
I mean, I think when you talk about foundation and you talk about gaining that trust, I mean, you see it throughout the season. When guys don't, from your coaching staff, and it's not like they changing. When you could gain their trust and you just be around, when you're in this building each and every day, 7 days of the week, or you're around these guys, you build that trust. You understand their message and they understand you. And I think when the players and the coaches on the same page and everyone have the same goal, I think that's when you build that trust in the foundation as a team. And and I've always been a believer in this. Football and sports is a leadership is from within, and that's when I'm going to say that it's the locker room. When your locker room holding guys accountable, your coaches shouldn't have to do that. So I think that's really our foundation. The guys in the locker room have to do it first. We shouldn't have to depend on the coaches to do it. But at the same time, I think we're all on the same page. We're coming back, and hopefully guys work their tail off to not be in their position again.
Jeff, you've been part of division winners here, and now this. There were high expectations coming into the year. Where do you think it went wrong this season?
I mean, you could look at a lot of different things. When you turn on the tape, like I said, it's throughout the year we all had a part. Sometime where, the run defense not good, or sometimes it's one guy, it's the back end, it's this, it's that. We can all point these fingers, but at the end of the day, we lost as a team. When you good and when you win in football games, you win as a team. So it's not really pointing fingers to nobody. I think at the end of the day, we have to do the little things right. When you talking about winning this league, you can't let the little things slip. You got to be able to, I guess, you got to stop teams. You got to be good first and second down, to be great on third down. You have to get to the quarterback. Everything goes in part when you trying to win football games. So, like I say, it come down to guys doing their job and, taking care of the little things.
What will it take in this locker room to get back to the standard that you and this organization holds itself to?
I mean, like I said, guys, first, guys got to go take some time away, enjoy this off season, enjoy this break right now, be with their family, clear their mind. But it's time to get back to work. We have to understand that, I hate this feeling. I know guys in this locker room hate this feeling. Not going to the playoffs. This is my third year in a row not making the playoffs. So I'm gonna do everything in my will, everything in my power to, push that message that, we would not feel this again. My first 3 years, God knew that, especially this division, it ran through Tennessee. So I think we want to get back to that, and I think guys understand that, and I'm sure the guys that are going to be in the locker room and guys that Randy Cali put in their locker room, they have no other choice but to believe in that, and we're going to get back to that point.
I mean, I think that the conversation I had today is that, they still believe in me, and they know that there's a lot of things that I can get better at, and they know that I'm going to work hard to get better at those things. And then all I can do is go this offseason and work as hard as I can to develop those areas of my game and come back here in phase one and try to show them that, I can be the franchise quarterback.
Well, where do you think the struggles you had, especially early in the year, stem from? Was it just unfamiliarity with an offense, or where do you think it started from?
I don't know. We were just talking about just those couple kind of weirder plays where I guess maybe I was just trying to do too much, or stuff that I have done in my career to a certain extent with trying to throw the ball away or do something. But yeah, I don't know. I think definitely as the season went on, getting more comfortable with the offense and getting more reps, I just was putting some cleaner ball on tape and was just feeling a lot better about myself as a quarterback and how I felt about the offense in general. So I think that's all I can look back on and try to improve on, and doing everything I can this offseason to, again, not let those things show up again.
You seem pretty even-keeled about it. Where does your confidence come from that if given another shot here or elsewhere that you can be the guy you've always talked about being?
Yeah, no, I mean, even if I threw for 30 interceptions, no touchdowns, I'm still going to have that confidence. But I truly do believe that the ball I put on tape and my body of work as a whole this season, I know, and people who know ball, I think, can see that I can do it.
You said yesterday that you think you get to the point where you want more on your plate. What about the season kind of makes you feel that way, given the turnover numbers in particular?
I think I'm just more so speaking from how I feel I see the field and how I see things. But like you said, I mean, we didn't have the outcomes and the amount of wins, and my play wasn't good enough to necessarily undertake those responsibilities. And it's not something necessarily, even if I did play well, that I was expecting to get to this year. I thought maybe it was like we'll get to it, next year, being able to work in the same offense and improve, and having guys, not running things for the first time and having familiarity from year one to year two. So I'm really excited for that, and to come back and continue to show that I can undertake those responsibilities and clean up the things that I know I need to clean up, and hopefully I can get there as a quarterback.
What were kind of the parting words, I guess, that you and Brian had? As kind of a message going into the season from Brian to you?
Yeah, I mean, mostly just talking about what he thinks that I can get better at. We saw the same things, and mostly just kind of talked about the whole season as a whole, how it went down. I'm mostly just looking forward to sitting down with him throughout the next couple of weeks and just going through snap by snap, like how he sees it versus how I see it, and just having those conversations, because I think that'll be really beneficial for both of us. But yeah, the conversation was good, and all I can do is just work on myself and be ready for my next opportunity.
Will, you mentioned how you see it. It seems like every time, like whenever something goes wrong, you always know immediately what happened. What is it that you could do to be able to kind of see what's going on before that tragedy strikes?
Yeah, I don't know what you're specifically referring to, but
So, like, let's say you throw an interception. You knew, okay, you know what, the safety, he played middle of the field.
Yeah.
I probably should have looked him off. but you didn't during the play.
Yeah.
How do you make it to where you know that that's what you got to do and do it before the play?
I think it's reps, and I think that's one thing that I did a really good job of all year. Is I think that's one of my strengths as a player is being able to take coaching, and I make it a point to try not to make the same mistake twice. And a few of those things that happened this year, it truly was kind of the first time I was put in that kind of situation and saw those things and responses from players in a defense that that was good to see, and hopefully, I can see that next time and not let it happen. So that was part of the, conversation I had with Brian and my ability to just process things a little faster. And I think that quickened up throughout the year and got better. And I just know that with reps and with more time in this offense, that's only going to get better.
Will, how much stock do you put in being a starter in this league versus a backup?
I mean, I'm going to prepare regardless of. I know that I'm a snap away, like I found out the past few weeks, that you can't change your mentality. I think that being the starter, obviously, the leadership responsibilities that are tied into that are definitely a little different. And I've been in the backup role before, and you can definitely be a leader in your own right there, but it's a little bit of a different role. So just feeling out that relationship and in that role, I want to be the starting quarterback. I want to be a starter. I know I have what it takes, from the personal and physical standpoint. And just hoping to show that I can continue to be a starter in this league.
How does that preparation change in the offseason? Last year you left basically as the guy. This season there's certainly more uncertainty around that. Does it change at all what you do, or do you feel you have to prove something in this offseason?
No, I mean, I think I just need to get better. I need to focus on the things that I and the people that I trust around me see in me, that they think that I can get better at, and just focus on those things. And, getting in the book, getting in the tape, and just trying to rehash the year, and then going into, looking at things around the league and how I can take from other guys. So looking forward to do that, and hopefully come back as a better, improved quarterback next year.
Assuming there's no coaching change, how much would you look forward to having the same system for 2 years?
Very much so. Very much so. I've said it a couple times, but I've never had that in my entire career. And I think my mental, how I'm able to see the game, how I'm able to process, how I take coaching, I think that's going to be really, really valuable for me. So I'm looking forward to that.
This will be, your second full off season. Anything you do different, whether it's training, studying tape, where you work, anything like that, different this year compared to last?
I haven't ironed out everything completely, but there definitely is going to be some change. Last year I was here, and with the new staff, I wanted to be in town, and I had a lot of other stuff in my going on in my life that I had to be here for. But I think I'll probably be getting out and working with some people. Not exactly sure what it's going to look like, but I have a decent thought about it, and I'm looking forward to it, though.
Will you make any reaching out to any guys maybe that are gone down a similar path as you, that maybe found success a little later on, like Mayfield or Goff or somebody like that later on, and say, what was the key for you? You entertain any thoughts of doing that?
I mean, I'm interested in hearing from any quarterback, regardless of what situation they've been through. Everyone's got a story, and I feel like you can learn from anybody, and those guys have had awesome careers. And I'm not focused on what my career looks like somewhere else. I want to focus on what my career looks like here. So what I can learn from those guys about just their experiences with getting benched or whatever, but I'm not really focused on their experiences going from one team to another.
How long do you take to reflect, and then when do you start the process of improving what you need to do?
I mean, shoot, I probably won't touch a weight or ball for the next couple of weeks, so that'll just be the biggest thing, is just recuperating my body and my mental, and then getting back to it when the body feels right. So, yeah, I'm excited for the off season, but definitely it's a breath of fresh air. Getting through just such a difficult, turmoiling season, and yeah, I just know that there's a lot of growth to be had, and there already was a lot of growth throughout this year, despite not getting as many wins as we would have liked.
If you had to pick one particular thing that was most frustrating about this season, what would you say?
I don't know, just truly some of the stuff that happened from the turnovers, are just every game it just seemed like there's something that came up that I just never seen before. Would it just dang, that really just happened. And I don't know, just some weird stuff that just kind of felt like we were always handed the short end of the stick sometimes, and just wasn't going our way. And I don't know. The world's crazy. I feel like, karma's going to come back to us eventually, and we're going to start, having the ball roll our way a little better. So that was just the weirdest part. I just feel like a lot of like how it happened, a lot of how the losses happened were just like, how?
Through all that frustration, like what would you say you learned the most about yourself?
Just to be the same person every day and not let, what's going on determine how you're going to come to work the next day and how you're going to prepare. I feel like I did a good job of that, of just putting my best foot forward every day, being the most prepared guy on the team and just being dialed in, ready for whatever's going to come to us. And just got to work on this offseason and how I can do that even better next year.
It's being able to consistently do things well. And I think run game is just being able to, there's various techniques here and there that I think I've got to just kind of hone in on a little bit more. But honestly, right now, I was just kind of thinking about getting away for a little bit. But yeah, there's plenty to work on, I think. And I'll probably go through and reflect on a lot of the film and watch that and kind of go from there.
In terms of this line, and you said the end of the season left you with a bad feeling. How much can that also be motivating going into the offseason?
Yeah, I think it's definitely motivating. I think, it's a little bit embarrassing, being honest, having, being honestly the worst team in the league and 3-14. So that's definitely a motivating factor for sure. And but that will drive us, I think, throughout this offseason to next year.
You were a first-round draft pick. Any comfort or any positivity you can take from this team having the #1 overall draft pick going forward?
Yeah, obviously, it's a sign that you are not a good team. So it's a little, like I said, it's a little bit almost embarrassing from that standpoint. But, hopefully we use that and add a good player and some more good players too and build and go from there.
In terms of this line as a whole moving forward, for you guys to find growth together, what do you feel like needs to happen?
Yeah, consistency is where it is. I think there's great work ethic and cohesion with our group. It's just guys being able to perform day in and day out, and I think we struggle with that a little bit and just need to get a little bit more of that next year.
Set ourselves up to be better in the future. So, yeah, it was frustrating because I feel like there was a lot that we left out there, a lot of potential going into the start of this season, and it didn't play out the way that we expected and how I think it should have played out.
Just the first year for Coach Callahan. Do you still believe that he can build a winning culture here in Tennessee?
Yeah, definitely. I think the pieces are in place everywhere, coaching, players too. There's going to be adjustments. That's how it is. Try to fine tune and tweak some things. But I think the system's there, the framework's there to get it done.
I know the season's still pretty fresh, but you're in a different position going into this offseason than you've probably ever been before.
Yeah.
Is that exciting, or how do you approach it, and how does this place that served you pretty well fit into maybe potential plans?
Yeah, I mean, it is exciting. I'm going to probably let that excitement come when it needs to. Right now, I'm just going to enjoy the time with family, get some rest, some recovery. I've been joking around. My wife's been joking around. Her off-season starts now. My regular season starts now, taking the night shift and all that. So, yeah, I'm going to get through that. And then, once contract talk, comes around, deal with it then. But, very happy and excited for the place that I'm in.
What would you say are some of the main reasons why you want to be back here?
Yeah, I mean, first off, just love this city, the community that I've now have around me. Being planted in a church, having a group of men that I've got to know really well around the city as well, to meet with and hang out with. My best man lives in this city, friends, that I'll have for life. And then just the organization, they've been real good to me, giving me an opportunity to start. So I'm super appreciative of that.
Nick, how do you view the situation with the worst record getting you the first overall pick?
I mean, that's how it works. It's frustrating. You don't ever want to be the team that has the worst record. But, yeah, that's just the nature of the NFL.
Is there any way that you look at it in particular in terms of optimism or motivation in terms of having that first pick?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you get the first pick at it. You get the draw. You get the control of how you kind of want to keep building this team. So that's what the silver lining of it. Obviously, I think that's why they set it up that way. So yeah, I think it's just having that control.
Peter said the embarrassment of kind of finishing worse than the league and having that is big motivation. Do you look at it similarly?
Yeah, I see it the same way. I don't think anybody goes into anything they do in life wanting to be in last place, whether that's, a sales job, selling who knows what door to door. You never want to be that. So the same holds true to, the NFL and being in this league. And, we take a lot of pride in the work that we put in. We feel like the work that we put in shouldn't have put us in this situation, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and that's the work we did is what led to this. So we just need to do more going forward, not let this happen again.
Just learning about the type of team that we have, learning who the guys we can depend on, the dogs on the team, the guys are going to be there in a tough moment. So it was definitely a learning lesson, a lot to learn from this whole experience. In these type of situations, you really learn a lot about a person, player, coaches, a lot of things. So.
What would you feel is most encouraging just as far as how things can be turned around with the organization?
For the most part, throughout the season, the guys was up. The morale was up. It wasn't like, guys were just low and moping around the building. We always felt like, we had a team that could go out there and compete with anybody. We just had to eliminate mistakes, self-inflicted injuries and things like that we could prevent. And, that's where it starts. And when we get better with that, then we'll go from there.
Peter said he's thinking of the embarrassment of the bad season, the first pick as motivation. Can you relate to that?
That's a bit hard for me to relate to the first round pick, but it's definitely a good thing. Be your hardest critic. Just be self-motivated. Not have outside things motivate you. Just motivate yourself.
Tony, I know you talked about the injury. What would you say that maybe it's that or the way the season went? What was the biggest challenge of this year for you?
It was probably all of it together. Just having a tough year, battling through adversity, battling through injuries. Just trying to be there for my team, and it is what it is. It happens in this league. That injuries are something that comes with it. It's not an excuse, so it's something you just have to play through.
What's the reason for optimism with this franchise, Tony?
There was so many good things to harp on throughout the season. So many good things that we put out there on film. And a lot of the bad things that we put out there were self-inflicted, things that we can prevent, penalties, things like that, mental errors, turnovers, things that, we can stop, that we can control.
Do you think Coach Callahan can still build a winning culture here?
Definitely, most definitely. We had the right guys in the building, just need a few more pieces and, just got to keep working.